Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm WoWcrendor and welcome back to another episode of World of Crendor, where I answer the questions you submit to me on twitter.com/WoWcrendor or facebook.com/Crendor. I also have reddit.com/r/WoWcrendor available, and I'll probably start taking questions from there again if people ask them. But right now there's not like a whole lot of people there, so if there's more people to go there, we'll take questions from there. So let's begin. First question is from Draz, and he says, what's your opinion on closing WoW Insider? But, I mean, I think he just means WoW Insider's closing. What are your thoughts? So, as I just said, WoW Insider is shutting down. AOL runs all those joystick sites. I guess there's a lot of them, but WoW Insider was one of them, and it makes me pretty sad. I hope they get picked up by someone else and they're allowed to keep doing what they do, because they're one of the first sites that ever put up one of my videos way back 6 years ago. It's been about 6 years. That's kind of insane when I think about it. I've been doing this 6 years. That's someone will have graduated high school, like literally freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, graduate, and then complete 2 years of college. That's how long I've been doing YouTube. That's insane. That means a lot of you that have been listening for a while, since like the beginning, have actually done all that. I don't know. When I started this, I was like 19, so I'm 25 now, as you could math it out. But they're one of the first people ever put up my videos, and they put up It's a Hard Gnome Life. It was a very mediocre, terrible video. And they were like, you know what, we'll put it up. And Michael Gray put it up, and he's an awesome dude. I've met him at BlizzCon. And, they've gotten me a lot of my followers. I'm sure a lot of you found me through WoW Insider. So I hope they don't shut down. I hope they keep going. I hope someone else picks them up. 'Cause, I mean, AOL, who needs AOL, right? Right? I didn't even know AOL still existed. But yeah, it's pretty sad. So that's my thoughts on it. Also, this last month of January, this has been like the least productive month I think I've ever had. December ended with me like being like, here we go, videos every day. And then I got sick, and it's just like, videos halted, holidays. And then that was the least productive month I think I've ever had. And it felt weird. You know how it's kind of relaxing to like take a little bit off, just like, yeah, having fun. But once you like take a lot of time off and you're sick and you're just whatever, it feels not unproductive. I mean, you feel unproductive, but it feels almost like you're missing a part of you, and it's weird. I guess that's kind of good because it means you actually enjoy what you're doing for a job, but it feels like there's just a part of me missing. I'm like, I want to make videos. I want to do these things, and it's, I've been sick. And finally, the second cold I've ever had is, well, not the second cold I've ever had. That'd be kind of weird. I'd be very healthy in that case. The second cold I've had this month is almost over. Which brings me to the next question. How was PAX? Was it fun? That is from Zelthrion. Also, the first question was from Draz. I don't know if I said that, but now I did. So, Zelthrion says, how was PAX? Was it fun? If you didn't know, I went to PAX South, and it was a lot of fun. It was in San Antonio. I met a lot of fans. Probably the most fans I have ever met in person. Mainly because we had panels, and we also had signings. So, we had this weird panel where people showed up and voted on stuff. It was for Navigator. They ended up getting us our actual panel, so we had to do a little panel for them, but it was fun. And then right after we got out of that, some people recognized me and Jesse, and they were like, hey, it's you guys. We were like, hey. And then lines started forming, and we literally stood there for like 3.5 hours signing and meeting people, and people were like, what's this line for? And they're like, it's for Cox and Crendor, and they're just like, oh. Some people are just like, what is... I mean, you know, I didn't want to leave. I mean, my legs started feeling tired. I was like, oh God, I'm getting drained. But, you know, you don't want to let people down. You don't want to just be like, all right, I'm done talking to you nerds. I'm going to go do, you know, you want to meet everybody, and, you know, they're there to meet you. And it's like it's a weird surreal thing where like people are actually there to meet you. I don't know. It's just so weird because, like I said, 6 years ago, I'm just some random person on the internet, you know? So we literally signed for like 3.5 hours. People would like come by and they'd be like, oh, you're still signing. And we're like, yep, we keep going. And then after that, I had to leave to do a Polaris thing. And that was fun. That'll be up on the channel soon. And I got to meet a cool fan. And a couple fans. And then we had the Friend Zone panel, and that was really fun to do. And we signed after... Oh yeah, and then we had a big signing after that, so that also lasted multiple hours. But that was a lot more structured, so it wasn't as tiring. We had to like sit behind tables and be like... And every time Jesse signed something, I wrote like nerd and wrote an arrow to his name. So that was my thing. Also got to play a lot of fun games. And then we had the Cox and Crendor panel, which was also extremely fun. You can go find that on the internet. If you search YouTube for Cox and Crendor panel, PAX South, you'll find it. It's also on Twitch, but it was really cool. We also had like 10,000 viewers live. It was awesome. And after that, we also had a big signing. I forgot about that. That was like another multiple hour signing where we were just getting bombarded, and this woman behind us was like, we kept bumping into her, and she's like, what's going on? And they were like, it's Cox and Crendor, and she was like, argh. And then she like got up and left. It was really funny. But like I said, I got to meet a lot of fans. It's really cool meeting people in person because, you know, you read comments and stuff, and it's cool to have that like face-to-face interaction of people being like, I really like your stuff and I really enjoy it and it makes me happy and all that, because it gives you like more personal feelings than just reading some internet comments. Not that your internet comments aren't, you know what I'm saying. Like face-to-face is just, it's different. So yeah, PAX was a lot of fun. You can go listen to on soundcloud.com/Cox and Crendor. We put up the PAX podcast. So we talk about all the stuff we did at PAX, and that'll cover the rest of it that I don't mention here. So it's fun. Okay. Next up is Stanley Yellnots, and he says, are you going to come back to LOL ever? I really like the LOLcast. Excuse me. I'm still fighting the cold. Well, the cough part of the cold. Am I going to come back to LOL? I've thought about it, but I always just, whenever I play League of Legends, it just consumes my life, and I don't know if I want that again. I'm always like, I'll just play a couple games, and it's like hours go by. I don't know, and I just get angry. I always just remind myself, like, just remember how you felt after you played League of Legends. It's like, it's a fun game, but I don't know. I'll end up playing it again. And yeah, I'll end up playing it again. I guarantee it. After I mentioned it, like, I'm never gonna play it again. It's just a waste of time. No, I'll probably play it again. I just don't know when. Could be tomorrow. Could be a week. Could be a year. Who knows? Next up, there is a question from Nathan Wilburn is it Wilburn or Wiburn? Or my eyes deceiving me? I like Wilburn more. Sorry if your name's not Wilburn. He says, what's the deal with the book you're writing? So, I'm writing a book, if you hadn't heard. I know a lot of YouTubers write books. They're just like, here's my book. But I watched Harry Potter, because I never saw it before when I was sick. And then I read the books, and I was like, oh my god. I love Harry Potter, because the reading style of it is very simplistic and easy to read, and just a very fun adventure it takes you on. And I thought to myself, that's the kind of style that I like. That's what I like reading, and so that's what I like writing. And I would love to make like a big fantasy story, but in a simplistic way like that. And I've been working on a novel like that, like the idea of it for about 2 years. And after watching and reading Harry Potter, I was like, that's how I want to do it. And so I started writing. I'm at about 5,000 words now. I've like rewritten stuff and went over it, and I've showed people, and they're like, this is actually a really cool story, and like, it was actually pretty good, and they didn't expect it to be that good. And so that makes me excited about it. And here, should I explain the premise to you? Okay, I'll explain the premise. So there's 3 factions. 3 major factions, and I like the Game of Thrones chapter style where it goes by character. That's my favorite, I think, book chapter style. Yeah. And each character represents one of the factions. So like each faction has like 2 or 3 main characters, and it cycles through. If you've read Game of Thrones, you know what I mean. And there's a magical kind of wizard faction. But the thing is, not everybody in that faction has to be a wizard. They're just, you know, it's just like a country or a culture, you know. And then there is the kind of barbaric faction, but they're more like civilized barbarians. I don't know, someone in history that would represent them, but just think civilized barbarians. And then the 3rd faction's kind of more of the, quote, pretty faction. They're, you know, kind of like highborn and like, yeah, we're the pretty faction. They think very highly of themselves. There's a lot of royalty and class structure, and they're very into navy, and they're by the water. And so those are my 3 main factions. And obviously there's other factions and other races, but they're the main ones. And I'm very good at storytelling. I'm like the worst. It's weird because like I'm the worst storyteller verbally. I always just wander off and don't describe things well. But when I'm writing, I'm like a billion times better, because for some reason I can write, and because I guess I can go back and edit stuff, and I'm better at just getting my thoughts onto paper instead of verbally spewing them out. Cat's also meowing downstairs. Let's see. So, I guess the main plot line is there's this resource, and this resource is almost like oil. You know, it's a very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a resource that's going to really help out a civilization and like do all that, but it's not oil. It's like a magical thing. So let's say you get this resource and you craft it into a sword. It's going to be a magical sword, and it's going to really benefit you. And then let's say you're a wizard and you get this resource, you make it into like a staff. Well, then it's going to make your spells stronger. Oh my god, cat. It's still kind of a work in progress. I don't want to like have it be like the god resource, like, oh my god, but it makes you, you know, realistically like stronger, and it has weird properties, and nobody really knows what it does because it's this new resource. And so the wizard faction's like, we've discovered it, we need to go get it, but the other 2 factions don't know about it yet, but they see that the wizard faction's kind of being suspicious and kind of moving up and setting up shop like in this weird part of the land that nobody ever goes to, and they're like, why are they doing that? And so like all the politics of it start setting in, and you know, craziness ensues. And then, you know, you got the whole past wars and all that stuff of the factions. I'm terrible at explaining this, but I promise you it is a lot better on paper. So I've really been like shaping these factions and the names of them and all that type of stuff for literally 2 years, because I was like, that'd be a really cool type of story if I did that. And so I've been really just kind of figuring it all out, and now is when I actually started writing it. It took me just being sick and watching Harry Potter. So if you ever want to get motivated, get sick and watch Harry Potter. But yeah. Next question is from Jenna Bain. Yes, that is the Jenna Bain, Total Biscuit's wife and awesome human being. She says, does seeing the annual Ikea catalog in your mailbox make your heart race? Mine does. Of course it does. Of course it does, Jenna. But seriously though, I love getting the Ikea catalog in the mail. That's like one of the great moments of every 6 months or 3 months or however many months it is before they send you a new catalog. And I love just going to Ikea and seeing them changing the little rooms and the areas. I love it. And it's like, oh, new stuff's coming. Because, I mean, you get tired of seeing the old stuff all the time, you know? I mean, you might not know. You may have never been to Ikea, and you may hate Ikea or whatever. I don't know why you'd hate Ikea, but that's one of the excitements of my life. Moving on. Dravan Can says, how many Blizzard employees does it take to fix a bug? I'm going to let everybody in the comments answer that. How many Blizzard employees does it take to fix a bug? That's the main reason I picked that question, because I thought it'd be funny to see the answers and responses. It's kind of like the how many blah 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 does it take to screw in a light bulb question. So, I would have to say to that answer, soon. Soon TM. Even if it makes no sense. Next up, we got Space Wingman. Space Wingman says, hey Crendor, how's it going? Are you alright and healthy? Do you plan on regular game streams? If so, what would you play? As you can tell by my cough, my lingering cough, I am still kind of sick, but I've gotten past the point of really being like sick, you know? And feeling bad and drained and all that stuff. So I had a cold, and then I got over it for like PAX South for like 4 days or 5 days, and then I got sick again from PAX South and had another cold, and so literally I've just been sick the entire month of January, but I've started streaming again. I've been streaming really dumb basketball and weird sports games like freestyle basketball, which if you've never seen it, go check it out. It's free. It's by GameKiss. It's supposed to be greenlit on Steam. Freestyle basketball. I've been streaming it with Gmart a lot. It's a really bad, stupid, weird game that's extremely fun. It's one of those games. And so, I've been streaming a lot more. It's twitch.tv/Crendor if you'd like to go follow me on Twitch. And, yeah, I've also... What else have I been streaming? I don't know. That's really all I've been streaming, but I'm going to stream more. I was probably going to stream some Battlefield Hardline with Jesse. Me and Jesse are also going to be playing Saints Row, Get Out of Hell, so that should be fun in the coming future. And, let's see, anything else? I mean, I'll probably just stream some Hearthstone and some other just random stuff, but that's what I've been streaming as of late. Yeah. Michael Napa says, what do you think of garrisons? I kind of wish at least some type of dailies were brought back. Here's the thing with garrisons. I loved them for like a month to 2 months after the game came out, and now it's at that point, kind of like the mobile game point, where you get really involved with it, and then you just stop caring, like, I mean, I already got a lot of stuff, I don't really need to keep going on daily. They need to add, I think you're right, they need to add some sort of, like, questing daily. They need to, I thought that they need to really grow on that garrison concept a bit more. I think they need to expand it outside of just being like, do your daily mobile game quests, you know? It needs to have something more to it. I haven't really thought about what I would add. Should add more to the garrison. But I think it'd be cool if they added, you know, like more cosmetic stuff, more customizable abilities in the garrison. Make it really easy for your friends to come visit your garrison and do stuff together. I don't know. I think they're working on it as well. I think they're gonna do some stuff to really help grow the garrisons. But I know a lot of people that have just kind of stopped caring altogether. You know, I'm kind of just waiting for more raid stuff to come out, and then I'm gonna go back and do LFR because that's what I like to do. I can also PvP, but yeah. I burned myself out with WoW. I played it like non-stop for like a month and a half, and then I was like, well, I burned myself out again. I do that all the time. Everybody's like, you quit WoW. I'm like, I burned myself out. That's what I do. I've stopped playing WoW over 50 times, and then I always come back. I'm like, oh my god, how did I stop playing this game? It's so much fun. And I'm like, I'm done with this game. Just bored. Then I'm like, oh my god, how did I forget about this game? It's so much fun. It's literally just that looped over and over, like in a span of like 2 or 3 months apart. So, yeah. You can leave your thoughts on garrisons if you don't want to talk about Blizzard employees fixing bugs. I mean, you really you can comment on anything. I'm not gonna stop you. And finally, we have Jeff Warren, who says, when can we get more adventures of Billy? That's a great question, because I am going to start production on my amazing series I've been writing for a long time. I started in like the spring of last year, or early summer. It was the A Quest Too Far with Billy, and I've written probably at least 4 or 5 episodes worth of this series, and it involves Billy and his good friend he meets along the way, and it's kind of like a little, you know, TV cartoon style series, and, you know, I've rewritten it 3 times now, so I'd like to think it's pretty good. And the main thing that prevented me from doing it, I was going to start working on it, and then Draenor came out, and they changed the file format, and WoW Model Viewer just completely broke, because they changed file format. But now, WoW Model Viewer has been updated. The dude has been getting a lot of support. He's been able to fix it. It's in like an alpha beta-ish stage right now, but it's finally like usable and pretty good again, so I can finally start production on it again. So I'm really excited. That's gonna be my new year. January and February are usually kind of boring, like downer months anyway, but once it hits March and spring starts hitting, I'm writing my book, I'm gonna start this series, I'm just doing all this stuff. I'm just excited. I'm excited. I'm gonna start streaming more. There's so many things, and especially being away from it all, from being sick, is motivating as well to get going with it all. I feel like I said it all like a billion times, but thank you for listening. If you'd like to leave a question or comment or follow me on social media, you can go to twitter.com/WoWcrendor or facebook.com/Crendor. I mean, there's also twitch.tv/Crendor, reddit.com/r/WoWcrendor, WoWcrendor.com. I'm also working on some new merch. I want to make some more mugs because I love mugs. I use the ones I have all the time. And probably a new shirt, because I haven't made a new shirt in a while, and I feel like I could use one, but I need something to base it off. Either way, thank you for listening, and yeah, okay. Bye.